Bishop Cristiano.
Good
Great
to see you.
Nice to see you too. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Yes.
A little rain out there.
Yeah, it is raining.
God is crying because we've lost the Holy Father, the Pope. We lost a good one.
Yeah, it's a mix of feelings, I think, this week, right?
Yeah,
It's the
it is.
most joyful week of the year for all of us. And we are grieving, but full of hope.
Always full of hope.
Yeah.
Especially in this Jubilee Year
Exactly.
of hope. I see you brought the poster with you.
Yeah.
Pilgrims of Hope we are here in the Archdiocese of Boston.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it's cool to see it.
Who designed that?
We have, it's one of our, he's called Howard. He's a new designer that we have in the Archdiocese. And he was it's amazing the way he put the 11 churches, pilgrimage sites of the Archdiocese there. And of course the beautiful symbol of the Jubilee with the 5 figures symbolizing the 5 continents, holding and embracing each other in solidarity, and the cross which is anchored on the waves of the ocean of this world. It's
beautifully
beautiful.
thought out. Yeah. And we had, of course, masses in the Archdiocese in 3 different locations praying for Pope Francis. And right now, at this very moment, as you know, the body of Pope Francis continues to lie in state in St. Peter's Basilica. And as you can see, just hundreds of thousands of people have been moving through the Basilica there in Rome for the past couple of days. And this is the last day that people in Rome will have a chance to say, in a sense, goodbye to Pope Francis, because this evening his coffin will be sealed ahead of tomorrow's funeral. So we have live scenes there right from St. Peter's Basilica. You can see it as if you were in Rome at this moment. I like that.
It is a beautiful image. I mean, again, this is the Jubilee of Hope, and Rome is filled with pilgrims, and of course, everyone loves Pope Francis and are there to pay their respect and to pray for him and to find hope too. I see it this way. It is beautiful to see.
It truly is. And of course, tomorrow, as I say, is the funeral of Pope Francis. And I'll have the privilege of celebrating Mass with you here on Catholic TV. And we'll offer that Mass for the Holy Father. And then we'll go immediately to the rebroadcast at 10 a.m. tomorrow after the Mass, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, of the funeral for Pope Francis. It was actually at 4 a.m., so we'll show that live at 4 a.m., but we're going to rebroadcast it at 10 after the Mass on Catholic TV. Please do join us tomorrow beginning at 9:30. Of course, at 4 a.m. we'll have the live broadcast, and then after the Mass, the rebroadcast of the Holy Father's funeral. And then he has chosen to be buried at St. Mary Major, the Basilica.
Yeah,
interesting.
what a surprise. I have a funny story. I was there for the bishop's school last year.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to that basilica. When I entered the basilica, I heard like people screaming in joy, and it was Pope Francis.
Oh.
He was about to travel somewhere else, so he was there. It was nice to see him. So he was greeting. He was in a wheelchair, but they were bringing him to the kids, to the babies. So it was surprising for me to see how much he loved that place, St. Mary Major, the beautiful basilica, and he chose to be buried there.
Interesting.
Outside of the walls.
Outside of the walls, yeah. And of course he had a great devotion to Our Blessed Lady, which he expressed every time, as Bishop Cristiano said, in going before he went on a trip or was about to do something important, he would go and pray before that image of Salus Populi Romani. It's a beautiful icon of Our Lady, who is the salvation of the Roman people. And here you see a map, and this is the route which the Holy Father's body will take from St. Peter's in Vatican City to the Papal Basilica of St. Mary Major. You can see it's a couple of miles across, but it'll be the first time, I'm told this morning, that a pope will be buried in another place, and that the transfer of the body will be something that is public, that we'll be able to see. So that's just some of the events coming up this weekend here on Catholic TV, and we continue to say farewell and thank you, and God bless to the Holy Father. May you be in the hands of the angels. But right now we have Bishop Cristiano with us. So since you're here, I just want to ask you, if you don't mind, you've already told us some of the ideas that you've had or thoughts you've had about the loss of Pope Francis, but when you first heard the news, what did you think? What was your reaction?
It was funny because I mean, at the end of Easter Sunday, we are tired, right? We are celebrating with joy, but a little
That's for
tired.
sure, yeah.
And I was trying to see videos of him on the square. So I actually fall asleep watching him like in the papal mobile
Oh, yeah?
or
Okay.
there giving the blessing. And then I woke up early to pray and I saw the news. So it was kind of shocking for me, like to see him there and then waking up in the morning having this sad news.
Somebody asked me
his
the other day,
passing.
I'm going to ask you because I couldn't answer the question. Do you think, I know he asked his nurse if she thought he could get through that 15 minutes out in the square, but do you think he knew, had a sense that maybe this was his last chance?
I don't think he knew. I don't know. I think
Curious.
he knew could be any time. In this he said that since the beginning. You remember he was very close to the people, going to everywhere with anyone, and people ask him, "Are you not afraid to die?" And he said something in Spanish like "Nadie muere de vísperas," like no one dies, unannounced. I don't know. Was something like I'm not concerned about dying, and I think he kept that spirit, but he knew he was suffering and his body was not the same, and that could be any time. But even though he wanted to work, he was happy to be in the square again and to see the people.
Yeah. And I'm glad he did it because it gave us all a chance to say goodbye, even though we didn't know we were saying goodbye. And you actually are from South America. You grew up in Brazil.
Yeah.
So the Pope being Argentinian, South American, what was that like for you to have a Pope that was kind of closer to your life growing up?
It was a surprise. It was a surprise. I was here. I remember I was studying at the day I was doing my doctorate, but then I was watching what was happening and expecting. Everyone was, right? And he showed up, and it was like, "Oh man, smile, please smile." I think he was shocked with all of that, and it was so beautiful. And he told them to pray for him, and the way he greeted everyone. And when I found he was Argentina, I said, "What? Like, so close!" And of course, people were expecting maybe a Brazilian at the time, or, I mean, no one can know that, but it was surprising. I never heard about him. That was the thing. No one knew about Jorge Bergoglio before, and it was a joy, I think, at the end. There are jokes between Brazilians and Argentinians, like,
Oh, really?
because of soccer, we are.
Oh, because of soccer, okay.
But
Football.
yes, but it is good. Was a good feeling to see that he came from so close, Argentina, our neighbor, dear neighbor there.
I know what I admire about him, but I'm curious, what is it that you most admire about Pope Francis?
I think his honesty on things, his freedom in saying things the way he wanted to say them, and he was fearless in approaching a difficult subject, for instance, that is not easy in the world, and at the same time open to the world, embracing the world like JP2,
Yes.
St. John Paul II, like traveling like him, being humble like Benedict XVI. Was beautiful, that continuity that I admire on him, and also hope. A lot of things he did requires hope. It's believing the future even though you don't see the future, even though you don't see what you started happening, right? So like the synod and the beautiful path of the synod, he's not seeing the fruits, but he believed. He was a man of hope and freedom, and a loving person. I think there are so many
Well
things
said.
we could say about him.
Well said.
Yeah.
And we hope that at the end of the coming conclave that we are given a new Holy Father who takes us yet on another path.
Yeah, hope does not disappoint, as you said.
I've read that in the Bible.
Yeah. So,
Well, thank you so much. It's been great having you just to share some of your thoughts as we approach the funeral mass tomorrow and then, of course, the conclave that's coming up. Always great to see you, Bishop
Thank you.
Cristiano.
Thank you for having me, for all that you guys do here at Catholic TV,
Oh, you're
bringing
welcome.
us so much hope.
Thank you for celebrating Mass, too, on Easter Sunday.
Oh.
En Espanol.
En
You're the
español,
best.
sí. Thank you very much.
And Kevin's over on the news desk. Hey, Kevin, what's going on all around the Catholic world?